At its core, Titanfall 2 is a movement shooter. As the old saying goes, standing still equals you are dead, not big surprise. In fact, every tactical is designed with the intent that you're probably going to be moving around. Grapple and stim are, well, pretty self-explanatory. Phase allows you to reposition to more favorable grounds. Pulse Blade allows for you to follow up on enemy positions and act accordingly. The moving clones of Holopilot encourage you to stick close to your decoys in order to capitalize on your bamboozles, and hell, even Cloak is great for moving around whether you're trying to sneak up on Titans, or you just want to make yourself a little harder to spot in open ground against pilots. But then over here in the corner, we have what some people may call the Antichrist of movement. Now, I want you to think back on the last couple of Titanfall 2 matches you played. Can you recall how many AWOL pilots you've seen? Because to be frank, while I can't really comment on any other platform, at least here on PlayStation, in the past year, I've seen maybe at least 5 AWOL users. And no, I am not kidding. If you thought that Holopilot was a niche tactical, then AWOL users might as well be extinct. And so, remember when I referred to the AWOL as the Antichrist of movement? Let's get a bit more specific. The concept of AWOL is pretty simple. You throw down a particle wall that boosts your outgoing damage, and that's it. Doesn't sound too bad at first, right? Well, consider the fact that now you have an obnoxious orange wall revealing your location, you can't move nor cancel said wall early, and if you want to capitalize on it, you're gonna have to remain at that one location until it runs out. Standing still equals you are dead, no future plans. Think about it. Every other tactical in the game allows you to have freedom of movement to some extent. So a tactical in a fast-paced movement shooter that discourages fast movement is, quite understandably, not looked so fondly upon. And that's not even going to the other issues it has, like the long cooldowns and janky placements. And while this may be a bit of a stretch, I don't see other people talking about another fatal flaw this tactical has, and that's weapon restrictions. With other tacticals, you don't really need to worry about your choice of weapon. Sure, some tacticals definitely have more synergy with certain weapons like the Cold War and Grapple, or the Mastiff with the Stim, but you aren't necessarily forced to use or avoid those weapons. The AWOL, though, isn't so lucky. Now, let me list some terrible weapons for an AWOL user. Number 1, the Kraber. You already one-shot pilots with this thing, so what's the point? Sure, you have cover, but if you're gonna run Kraber, you might as well run Grapple to stay mobile, or Cloak to stay hidden. Number 2, both the EVA 8 and the Mastiff. I'm putting these two together since they're both shotguns, and let's be honest here, while AWOL does boost your outgoing damage, you're not going to be hitting those cross-map shotgun snipes. If you're deploying an AWOL in close range with a shotgun, chances are you already were going to kill the person in front of you. Number 3, the Cold War. I don't want to talk about the Cold War. The point is, instead of complementing or just simply existing alongside the weapon pool, AWOL actively limits your playstyle if you want to even try using the damn thing to its full potential. Despite all this though, and despite me ignoring AWOL for literal years, why am I just now singing its praises? Now during my first years of Titanfall 2, I was your average Andy. Maining Stim, using Car, and being butthurt over a loss was basically my entire personality.
God damn it, Dauntless! Stop being such a camping fucking cum-dumpsting twat-waffle douche canoe!
Eventually though, I did try other ways of playing, and you know, that's how I became a Holopilot main. I tried everything, which means that yes, I did play a bit of AWOL. Now obviously, I wasn't a big fan for pretty much the same reasons as I stated earlier, and I also had a bit of prejudice against the campy playstyle that it promoted. But one day, on the official Reach Discord, I got a message in my Ideas channel that piqued my interest from one of my YouTube members. At this point, I kind of realized that, I haven't really thought about using AWOL, like, ever. I mean, I didn't really have anything to lose, did I? So I sat down for a good long session of Titanfall 2, and I swear to God, discovering the joys of AWOL gave me the same sense of pride and accomplishment from when I discovered the power of Holopilot. And no, I'm not kidding. Okay, well, maybe a little bit, but god damn it still feels so good. So that begs the question, what did I exactly learn in this period of time for me to do a complete 180 in my opinion of AWOL? Number 1, playing like a support. Now some of you may be scratching your head at this, and you may ask,
how is AWOL supportive?
Or,
I'm already playing AWOL like a support. What do you mean?
Well, my friends, I had to ask myself this question too, and this is where deviating from your usual mindset becomes really helpful. Let's be honest, as a society, many people tend to be stuck in their old ways and are often afraid of change or changing. For example, I like to move forward all the time, I like using battery boost 24/7, and I like using Ronin. But sometimes, I have to adjust my playstyle to fit the flow of combat. Instead of moving forward, maybe I'll move slowly. Instead of using battery boost as I get into my Titan, maybe I'll save it for when I get low. And instead of using Ronin, I should use Iron. The point is, you have to look at the whole picture. When I started experimenting with AWOL, I found that staying behind my team and covering common movement areas was really goddamn powerful. If your position isn't prone to flanks and you have decent aim, like me,
What are you aiming at?
you effectively control that entire area for the duration of your shield. I probably don't have to spell it out for you, but that's really goddamn powerful. I think the reason so many people dismiss this powerful effect is because 1, camping is boring, and 2, they're not putting their shield in the best positions. Personally, when I put down my shield, I ask myself these questions. Will my flanks be clear? Do I cover a wide area? And can I expect my enemies to cross my view? Number 2, don't be afraid to use your shield. Now, I briefly talked about it before, but the nature of AWOL makes it so that you feel forced to sit there until the duration of the shield runs out. Do not fall into that trap. If your AWOL is in a bad spot, well then, tough luck, buddy. At the end of the day, your life is more important than the static wall, so I would suggest moving before you get mowed down. Also, when it comes to placing down your AWOL, don't be afraid to use it whenever you get it. Using AWOL in a tight corridor to turn around a 1v1 will always be worth it in my opinion, even if you use it to only get that one kill. And remember, your outgoing shots are amped, meaning that by simply standing behind your shield, you become an absolute menace. Number 3, play slower. I'll be frank here, AWOL is not for everybody. As it may disappoint some, unfortunately, AWOL is definitely best utilized in a slower, methodical way. Oftentimes, you can find yourself not seeing any action for a few seconds, or that you're just not getting any good placements down. Either way, it's all part of the playing process for AWOL, and as with all things, getting good will take time, practice, and commitment. And so yeah, I think AWOL is pretty good, actually. If you have questions or you want to share your opinion on the video, make sure you comment down below. I'm a variety creator that mainly makes Titanfall 2 content, and I post weekly Titanfall videos, so if that sounds like your jam, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to join the Discord if you're interested, and there's also YouTube memberships, which are pretty cool, or at least so I've heard. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me, and so, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Well, let me have a rule and a saw and a board and I'll cut it. I'll climb up a ladder with a hammer and a nail and I'll nail it.